We did it.
Alright.
I did it.
I think it's working. It's working!
Is it really? Seems like you're doing all the work.
Well, no.
I'm just over here getting a jump start.
Been working like crazy.
I actually planned on getting up here and like getting a jump start, and I did not manage to do that. I managed to sit here and stare at the minis.
Well, we had pizza too, so that was an excuse. Hello and welcome to another Paint and Chat. My mini got done in time, so I'm very excited that I get to finally paint on it.
Is that what you labeled the stream?
Paint and Chat?
Yeah.
Yes.
You should have labeled it, 'twas the stream before Valhalla.
Oh my gosh, it is the stream before Valhalla, so I hope all of you out there in internet land are doing all right tonight. Got some hobbying stuff that you want to get behind you. Everyone here at this table is going to be at Valhalla this Sunday, and so we are getting our last minute hobbying in while we can. So I'm going to pull up my channel here so I can read y'all's comments, because that would be helpful.
Just a little bit.
And I've been super prepared, as you can tell. For what it's worth, I've been on top of all the important things. So, alright. Okay, that's all running. Paul, thank you very much. He's our moderator, so be nice to him, make his life easy. We've got Flo here, the painter Flo, our lovely, painter. What are you working on tonight, babe?
I am working on a couple of stealth suits. More Tau.
More fish people. You're not even going to play it at Valhalla. What are you planning to play at Valhalla? All the board games?
All the board games.
All the board games.
All the board games. Maybe a few of the
RPGs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them a shot.
Two dedicated DMs this year. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so amazing.
I don't have any of the books, so I can't do anything beforehand. I got to do it when I get there.
That's fine. I mean, you can always reach out to them. They're looking at the forums. Dylan, also known to some as the villain. Mostly Joel.
You went there.
I did go there. What are you working on?
I'm painting some Minoth exemplar errands.
More exemplar errands. All right, so saying hi to the chat. Chef Blue Eyes, welcome. Appreciate you coming by. Space Wolves, always good to have you. Eric Brown, thank you for joining the stream. Brian Galvan, Samuel Sanfratello, making fun of me before the stream started, but that's okay. We can still be friends. Cool Guys Nation, Aaron, are you still here? Are you looking forward to this Sunday? It's gonna be pretty awesome. What else have we got here? All right, I think. Oh, and Illyrian, all the way over from Australia. And I'm pretty sure one of our guests is coming in from Australia, actually. Okay, so.
Wait, we're having some Australian people at Valhalla this year? Is it that one guy that was here a couple years ago? He was like touring the US and...
No, Max won't be making a comeback, but I hope he's doing well. Yeah. I think follow him on Facebook when I'm on it. He's so sweet. All right. Yes, so I have Bullgryn as a question mark on here because I wasn't totally sure if this guy would get done. Let me show you.
I could have switched him out for you.
So, this guy is what I'm going to be working on tonight. I have got a kill team list and a kill team army for, lo and behold, kill team, but it's all Imperial Guard, and I hate playing with a bajillion models. So, an Ogryn, or Bullgryn rather, they're enough points to help make that a lot easier on me, and apparently they're pretty tough. So, that's what I'm going to be working on tonight. Oh, okay. I'm all tired from all the talking. Very exciting. Oh, Brian, it's okay. We miss you. I hope your kiddo's feeling better. All right. Oh, and Robert Lamborn, welcome to the chat. Mr. Pilak, appreciate Mandragora. Good to see you, man. Shivend, so close to Valhalla. I know, and you're going to be there, and it's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing all the painting you've been working on, actually. I know you really bring your A game. Johnny Kapow. Has anyone painted the Ghostbusters minis from the second board game? Also hello. No, I don't think so. I'm not familiar with the board game though. Eric Brown, having fun with my 6 Killicans. Nice. Lorian, good day everyone. I'd like to get to Valhalla myself, but not this year sadly. That's okay. There should be more years. Shavand.
Should be.
Will it be as epic as that time in 1998 when the Undertaker threw Mankind off Hell in a Cell into the Spanish announcer table? It will be more epic than that, I don't mind saying. With everything we've got going on, the menu we have for Valhalla, the gaming that we have lined up, the tables that we have coming.
I'm always excited.
Is that menu been released?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have
In
not
fact,
seen
if
it
a
yet.
certain Dylan checked his email, he'd know. But
I do check my email.
I'm pretty sure. I
Not
sent it.
enough.
I don't think I'm on that list.
Oh no. All right. Well.
If a certain
Yes.
host would send me the email.
Well, I see. Okay. Well, you don't have to get salty about it. Yes, the menu is fantastic. I think we've got pork chops our first night there.
Yes.
Very nice.
So, yeah, it's always such good food. Our caterer is just absolutely freaking fantastic. So.
She
Yeah.
the bomb.
And then we were working out the details for the meta game that was going to be happening for the duration of the event. So during this year, and maybe Dylan can explain a little better because he's running it, but we are going to have, if you guys are familiar with the game Werewolf, well, we're going to do, there's a customized version of it for Valhalla that Dylan created for last year, and we're doing again this year, where every guest, with like a handful of exceptions, is going to kind of be part of the game passively, and they can participate as much or as little as they want. But it's Vikings versus werewolves, and so it's a voting game, so they get to vote, was it once, twice a day?
Once a day.
Once a day to try and, the villagers need to root out the werewolves are trying to kill the Vikings, and so by the end of the event, by the last night, by the final dinner, we should know, just for bragging rights, who wins. So it's a good social game. Let's see here. I thought we started at 7. Patrick, no, it's 7:30. I've learned that I just have to give myself a half an hour to get ready for these things. Jeff Blue Eyes wants to know how everyone is today.
Doing good. It's a good day.
It's good. It's a Wednesday. It's the middle of the week.
It is a Wednesday.
Hmm.
But I don't know about anybody else who's going to Valhalla, but this week feels like it's dragging. So.
Unless
It's a
you're
little-
planning it, then you're like,
little
oh
slower."
goodness, have I thought of absolutely everything? Do I need to check the checklist again?
Yes.
There's not enough
Yeah,
time.
the answer is
All
yes.
the times.
It's yeah. I become very obsessive at this point in the go.
Yeah. Just this one.
How are you doing, Flo? The painter the Flo. She goes with the flow.
Man, I wasn't going with the flow. I felt like I was going against the flow today. A miserable day.
Fair enough.
But now I'm here painting.
Which is better. It's peaceful.
It is.
And that's kind of one of the nice things about it being on a Wednesday. Now, I know not everybody works just a Monday through Friday schedule, but it's still like a day of the week that you can take your time, chill out, relax, and get some hobbying done. It's just, I don't know, it's just nice. Paul says he has seen the epic food at Valhalla, and he'll see more, because he got a digital ticket for the Valhalla event, so there'll be some
Nice.
live streams and some video uploads for those folks. And I guess Brian did too.
Nice.
Samuel, someday when I grow up, I want to go to Valhalla. Oh my goodness, you know what I did? Okay, you two, talk amongst each other. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to go this year.
I was so sad I couldn't go last year.
Looking forward to seeing everybody that was hanging out last year and participating in all the fun events that take place, and it's gonna be a good time.
It better be a good time.
It will be an amazing time, guys.
This video I'll show you how to set up your
No,
What'd you do, Miranda?
I forgot to put my announcement for the live stream on my Twitter, so
Oh, I see.
Ooh, okay.
I should do that, so that's why I need you guys to keep everybody entertained.
Entertainment.
You can read the comments if you want.
Not from here, I can't.
Here, I got it. Let's see what everybody's up to tonight.
Anybody else painting?
Yeah, I think we have some people working on some Killicans.
Is it snowing up in Ohio, I think, mountains yet? I follow a Washington YouTube page and said they saw snowstorms this week. I don't know, but the past couple of years when we've been... Valhalla's in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
In the past couple of years while we've been down there, it has snowed while we've been there. So
Usually one day.
yeah,
It'll snow
usually just one
one
day,
day.
and then it usually goes away pretty quick too. It melts, but it did snow last year, and it was pretty neat because I was hanging out in the hot tub. It's all nice and hot in the hot tub.
And your
But-
hair starts freezing over.
Yeah, it's snowing outside, and you like reach up to touch your hair, and it's completely frozen. It's a really weird experience.
I was doing that every other year I was there.
Yeah.
Like, go and it's like ice. Your hair doesn't move. It's all straight.
And people with beards, you can just see all the frost in their beards.
Yes.
So it's a lot of fun. The worst trek is from the hot tub to the door, though. Albeit very short. Getting out of the hot tub is a hard thing to do when it's snowing outside.
Getting out of the hot tub in general is a hard thing to do for me.
Oh, gotta go. Be safe. Hopefully catch you all when I get home. See you later, Chef Blue Eyes.
Oh, good to see you, man. Thank you.
Brian says he's building an orc jet.
Ooh.
Sounds pretty nice. Who's it? Who's the guy at Valhalla that has all the orc stuff?
Rich.
Rich at Valhalla has some of the coolest orc stuff I've seen.
Well,
What did he had that? It was a squigoth, right?
Yes.
That's what it was. Yeah, he had this custom built squigoth that he brought last year, and that thing was so cool.
Yes, and he's not going to be the only one with a bunch of orcs this year. We've actually got Doug from Table War, which is how he insists on saying it every time, coming this year, and he's going to be bringing his orcs.
How's
and
that pronounced?
Table War,
There you go.
obviously. By the way, there's other people in the house as we are preparing for like last minute Valhalla stuff. A bunch of things are getting printed and cut out, working the name tags and all of that. So if you hear random noise, that's from other people.
And the printer.
And the printer working overtime. So yes, but yeah, so Doug will be there, and he's gonna bring his orcs, and he's a huge orc fan, so that should be really fun. I imagine we'll see a lot of orc on orc combat, which somebody mentioned, I believe, in the comments earlier, that it is Orktober, so it seems appropriate. Orktober.
I like it.
It's great, isn't it? So you got it. Can't go wrong.
It's just decorated for Halloween.
Brian Galvan, I'm building an orc jet and not following the build instructions in any way. Well, that's how orc stuff works. Just stick it together. Patrick, if Jeremy's there, he should be painting. He's only got 5 left for Valhalla. Well, he told me 3 earlier. Cool Guys Nation, it always snows. Yeah, Aaron's right. Usually 1 day a week, and it usually is enough to kind of make my heart palpitate and, just be panicked, because we actually rent a minibus to take everybody from a meeting point in Salt Lake City all the way to the cabin. That way, everybody who's flown in, our international guests, people don't have to worry about once they fly in getting a car and having to find their own way over there. They can just, as long as they schedule it right, get there by 2. The bus leaves at 4 and heads up to the cabin. So it's kind of like the Hogwarts Express in my mind. And then Friday morning, there will be a bus there to pick everybody up to take them to the airport. So you shouldn't have to worry about shuttling. If you want, there are plenty of people who are renting their own car driving, which is obviously fine too. But this helps to make it not required. But it's a mountain you're going up. Like, this lodge is at the top of a mountain, and it's a mountain within mountains. So it's very, very rural. And so whenever it snows, like, the roads can get kind of treacherous. In fact, if you were to rent that cabin, I think a month later than when we book it, you're not allowed to bring anything short of a 4-wheeled vehicle up there, or four-wheel drive vehicle up there because of the snow. So yes.
Think we'll see any elk this year?
I don't know about elk, certainly moose.
Moose, that's what it is.
It is the Timber Moose Lodge, and Alexis and I had a fun story that was on our podcast this last Sunday, and we were recounting our moose story, which she remembers a bit more dramatically than I do, but yeah, I imagine there will be moose. They're so cute.
And terrifying. And huge.
Jeremy, I'm all done Valhalla painting my next Dead Zone army. Oh, he's done for Valhalla. Nice. Brian, the kits come with so many variants you can make whatevs. Fair enough. Just finished my 2K squat list. Holy cow, 2,000 points of squats. Jeremy wants to know if you're bringing rum and bones, Dylan.
Probably not this year.
No? Really
No.
not this year.
But there's so many people that bring all sorts of different board games.
So it may well maybe come
Yeah,
back.
it may still end up in a lot of stuff that gets brought.
There's another guest talking in the forums who was listing out some board games he was thinking of bringing.
I'll check it out, and if I don't see it in there, I'll see if that's a possibility.
Sorry. Let's bang the table while people are painting. It's very helpful.
I don't think it's saw me play last year, actually. I brought Rum and Bones, but
Oh, really?
I don't remember actually pulling it out.
No?
At all, so. But it's good to know if somebody's interested.
Yeah, there's there's sort of a big fireplace thing, but it usually stays warm enough during the event that it doesn't need to be on. And so there's this big stone, it's a wide stone tablet around the fireplace, so people put all the board games up there. And so it ends up being this huge group of stuff you can take. Flavin, how you doing, man? Any of you ever tried painting before assembling the models? Or sub-assembly, perhaps?
Yes, fairly recently. It was actually kind of nice because it feels like you get so much more accomplished because the pieces are done. You're like, I'm done with this piece, I can move to the next piece. But then you have to put them together and you just hope everything matches perfectly.
Oh, would you pre-fit things?
Oh no, yeah, you pre-fit them. I just mean you hope that you got all of the shades exactly
just
right.
Everything where you need it to be. So Flo has. I'm much lazier than that, and I just want it assembled, and then I'm just going to paint what I can see, and that's that. Let's see here.
That is a shiny gold boot. I did not mean to make it that shiny.
Well, it's okay. Brian, hashtag, am I right? Indeed you are, sir. Patrick, I'm working on terrain tiles for a Dead Zone campaign Jeremy and I are doing over Veterans Day. Ooh, that'd be cool. I want to see pictures. Cool Guys Nation, Orktober is canceled this year by the Imperium. Ooh. Way to be a damper, Aaron. Hey, by the way, Aaron, what level's your hunter in Warcraft? I haven't been on yesterday and I was having withdrawals. I'm almost level 40. Well, I just turned level 45. And so I'm going to start tanking in Zolfaric, and just so you know, we can run that. Just saying. Lil Fred, hey, why don't you make new War Machine battle reports? This is a time issue and an expense issue, so I will get to them when it is practical to do so. Johnny Kapow, sorry for the repost, but the comment got skipped when Miranda left the room. What are the chunkiest or largest minis that you've painted, Wargamergirl? Warhammer or War Machine? Werewolf the Apocalypse. War Machine Conquest, which is a colossal model, and so it stands 6-8 inches tall, something like that. I have a Night Titan, but I haven't painted it or anything, so I haven't had to deal with that. So, that one. Paul, also trying not to stress about Valhalla. Okay, I had my breakdown last week. I'm okay now. Jeremy, that's okay. Marauders in Dead Zone will fill the vacancy. Cool Guys Nation. Wow. Alright. And Paul Submoose. Aaron has never seen the moose. Well, you need to go walking with us, man. They're everywhere. They were everywhere last year.
Last year, I remember just waking up and the pool room has all the walls are almost windows.
Yeah.
And I just saw 2/3 of a moose walking past because the windows are pretty tall in that room. But I just saw from the neck up or the neck down of this moose walking past. It was
because they are ginormous.
They are ginormous.
I know, and they look so much friendlier than you're not supposed to obviously walk up to a wild animal because that would be foolish. But they always seem so chill and calm, and so you're like, I'm really tempted, but I don't live in a Disney movie, so no, just gonna leave you alone. but they're really cool. Golly, those things are massive.
A room with a moose.
Samuel, I just got back from Louisiana. I bought the new Insane Detail and Psycho brush at a cool shop in Baton Rouge called Little Wars. Ooh, like right after George Orwell's book? No, George Orwell. What do I think? H.G. Wells' book, yes. George Orwell writing a war game. Oh, horribly weird. Names, they get confused. And I've been very busy, so. Britai Beer Loaf. New here. Valhalla sounds great. Sad I'm missing it. That's okay. I should have some video stuff to kind of show in general, like what's going on. You can kind of sort of be there in spirit. Brian sub-assembles everything. So I'm sure your stuff looks nice and highly detailed. Yeah, no. Dave Barrett, Coup was a nice game I discovered last year. Coup is a hilarious game. So
always fun.
Josh from the Wargaming introduced me to that.
It's like always what's busted out. Night 1, minute 1 when people arrive to
it's
Valhalla.
True. That and Munchkin.
Yeah.
Coup, Munchkin. Those are the things that you are going to
That's
see.
right.
We
I
may
have
not-
the 40k munchkin that I could bring.
We may not see as much Munchkin this year because Thavian's not going to be there, right?
No, Thavian's missing this year. I know.
No.
He posted on Facebook. I need to respond to him, but yeah, I hope all's well. Brian, unfortunately it takes me forever to finish a project that way. So, I mean, if it's not going to feel finished to you until it's done that way, then you're probably just going as fast as you can anyway, and at least you never have to go and touch something up. Cool Guys Nation, I gotta go now. Play WoW. See you all later. 42.9. So
Yes,
you're
rubbing it
9
in,
bars
but don't bother
into
me.
level 42, I take it? Alorian, I've never seen a moose in person, but I ride the kangaroo to work. Hashtag Australian. Hashtag blessed.
You know what's going to be great?
Huh.
When you come back from Valhalla and you have like a bar and a half of rest bonus.
Oh my
Or a
gosh,
level
that's
and a
going to
half,
be
yeah.
so amazing. I'm going to be in so many dungeons.
You'll,
Just not see the outside world for days.
you'll zoom straight to 50.
Oh, that'd be so great. Why am I looking more forward to like Valhalla's like heaven. Like, but I need to level my WoW character. I'm close to getting into Ubers or Loopers or Blackrock Depths. Any of those. I'll take them all.
It's still, it's 10-man though, isn't it?
Right?
Isn't
Yeah.
that 10-man content vanilla? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
But Dire Maul's not. And
Oh, it's
that'll
not
be
in yet
next-
though, isn't it?
No, not yet. Not
That's
yet,
okay.
but soon. So soon. Oh man, everybody's gonna be in there all the time.
And that was level 60 content, right?
Well, yeah.
Dharma? Yeah.
It's, I think it's level 6. Yeah, it's supposed to be pre-raid gear. Valorian, yeah, Space Wolves. Paint per assembly is nice as long as they are beef and chunky, but if it's fiddly, I'd rather put it all together and paint in one stride. It's a fair point. I suppose, like, my my dear old Greylord Forgeseer here, he has his detachable cape here. It's not supposed to be detachable, but this takes up so much of the model, it covers so much of it that I actually am going to paint and assemble these parts separately. So I'm breaking almost my own rule there, but it would look terrible if I didn't do it that way. In this way, when I do it, it'll just look, reasonable, somewhat mediocre. Patrick, I think Uncle Adam did a video about that too. If I can't paint it, they probably can't see it. And why paint it if they can't see it? Well, that's just going to be a personal choice. Jeremy remembers seeing that moose when it walked past the pool room.
Yeah.
Atomic Topher says, moose are dinosaur deer.
I believe it.
Sounds legit. Paul, still painting your sister Amalia as a Christmas present, but it's predetermined. So you can still work on your present too, Paul. Brian, we are our own worst critics.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I mean, if you guys are, I'm like, this looks great. More like the little kid painter where I'm all like proud of it. I'm like, I got the colors right and I painted in the lines. Cool. I'm gonna go fight with it now. Okay. Comments have slowed down slightly enough. Let me see if I can't get some colors on here. Where are my brushes? We've got, that's a good size brush. Just sort of finding stuff. So I will be painting tonight. I'm going to make it look like the box for the Bullgryns because then I know what to do. And I actually went out of my way and bought a Citadel color. I bought the, what is it, Thunderhawk blue. It's like a gray steel blue kind of color. Because that's going to be the primary color for the Tempestus Scions as well as the Bullgryn. So, I guess I'll start with that. And it's very...
Oh no.
Sorry.
Now I have to bust out the red. Alright.
I'm sorry. This paint is so thick. Why is it gross and thick? So, the table, unfortunately, has very shallow legs on this end, and I keep smacking and destroying their line work. I'm sorry, guys.
She's just sabotaging us so her stuff looks better.
She wants to have the first model on the round table, which currently nothing presides on.
Yeah, let's see.
But here's it going so far.
Hey,
There we go.
Some progress check. Convert the Bullgryn to Moosegryn. Well, I'm not really talented with green stuff, so... But it wouldn't be that crazy. You just literally put some moose horns on their side of their head. Works. Alright, I'm going to have to thin the paint. This is goopy. Oh, it's a dry paint, this is why. Not one of their technical paints, which is like half water. Alright. On the bright side, I anticipated this and brought in a little palette thingy. This came from the dollar store. There's like a whole pack of them. It's great.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have a number of those.
They're wonderful.
So is it
Lauren, how
looking
cool
good?
are the Scion models, Miranda? They're thick boys, but I like their rifles and night vision goggles.
Alright.
I haven't got to play too much with them on the table, so I'm not totally sure how much I love them.
Right there.
They've got a cool look, though. I like their very military look. I did all mine in just special weapons, so my unit's just a specialty attack. And then I'm working on the little RPG element, the story of them, because they are going to be teamed up with Catachan. And the Catachan don't like them very much. So.
I'm just looking at this sticky note that's on the table that says, I want to paint this guy.
Oh.
Yes, that was there last week. I wanted to put it on the wall behind Tommy.
I'm glad there's set consistency.
There was a reason for that.
Do you remember what that reason was?
What?
Oh, because I had to go to work, and so I had to have someone else take a picture, and they didn't know which model it was going to be.
But did it flash like it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flickering lights.
The printer might be going. Look, it's an old house. Okay?
It's really putting in the work.
I don't know.
Crazy printer.
Yeah. I will be bringing a printer to Valhalla, so if you guys need something printed, that should be possible. But I know most everybody's kind of on digital, and you guys are also super good about kind of being prepared ahead of time anyway, but it's an option all the same. Flavin, I had to skip Classic WoW. I ruined my life from 2004 to 2007 playing it. I had like 360 days to play it on an orc rogue / played. Well, to be fair, you were playing the wrong faction.
I have a friend that I haven't seen in like 3 weeks because he started playing WoW. Great.
It's so true. Oh my gosh, it's been so hard to like
He's been
go
playing
to bed
it so much, then the other day I get a message and it says, sorry, I can't make it, I have a date tonight. And we're like, oh, congrats, have fun. And I message him later and he's like, how was the date? I was like, oh, I got this really cool armor piece. I was like, wait a minute, that's not a date.
Like, says you. Hey man, to each his own. We live in an age where people marry pillows.
That's true.
And so as long as that's true, I guess your WoW date can be that. That's hilarious though. No, it's so true. It's been very... Like, I kind of super wish that WoW Classic came out this month instead of in August. I'd have gotten a lot more painting done.
Would any time ever be convenient, though?
I mean, it's always going to be a time sink, but at least, you know, if it came out this month, then I wouldn't be, you know... All the Valhalla stuff is obviously done and prepared, but like my own personal painting projects fell to the wayside, and it would have been nice to have those done. Whereas if it comes out around the holidays, all you have to do is neglect your family, and that's not that hard. So.
A peek into the life of Miranda.
I love my family very much. But
Just-
you know, they know that already, so I keep, you know, recounting it. Slime Marbo have been spreading nasty rumors about them. Tyranids can smell them in the jungle because they don't have the raw animal magnetism of the Chans. Nice. Mogwai, Horde still the way to go. Shaman greater than Paladin. Shaman is greater than Paladin in PvP for sure. However, Horde are evil, and so I'll never play one. And in my case, I play a human warrior. And it's been funny to watch all the drama unfold on the WoW forums as well, as they lament. Gosh, the playstyle is so freaking different than I remember too. Everybody's trying to AoE tank and hurry up through a dungeon like crazy.
They've been poorly conditioned.
Yeah, and as the result of it, they're having a really hard time finding people willing to take dungeons because holding aggro is very different in Classic WoW. Like, very different. Although I think I found a trick the other day that made me very happy. So.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Care to share?
Well, if you play warrior, I mean, and I think I was reading about this on the forum, so it was me trying it more than, like, inventing it, but literally you just spam demo shout as your highest aggro thing. If you have group AoE that you need to hold. Group threat. I was painting, but my blood sugar spiked and my eyes defocused. Oh, geez, Mike. Well,
So much for painting.
I know. Do you just have to wait that out? Need more paint. Dwarves rule. Dwarves are awesome. They're actually really good, especially the priests because of Fear Warden. But you know, dwarves in like War Machine and Hordes are, and 40k are cool too, I guess. And Warhammer, I guess. I told you not to play that game. Quiet, Jeremy. You're not the boss of me. It also owned my life from like 2005 to, well, we'll just say a long time. Well, no, I quit it multiple times, like with the expansions. Burning Crusade was okay, but I ended up getting burned out and I hated the color red on my armor anymore. And then, like, after that, I just got too busy. I was working 2 jobs. It was just too much. And then...
You hated the color red on your armor.
Well, every piece of armor you got was just red. It was just
Miranda.
more red. I know, right? The irony, right? I get it. But... maybe it was just an early precursor.
Just hate all my armor being red.
It was so boring! And then you also had the Draenei, and everybody had like a hideous crystal sword. Nothing looked normal.
Okay, that's fair.
It's just gross. Mikey V, hello, Miranda and company. Why, hello, Mikey V. Mogwai Man, yeah, classic WoW. Everyone actually had to pay attention in dungeons. Well, you had to pace it, and there was a lot to do with crowd control. Now, that said, the remake, you know, in this re-release, friggin' Ragnaros in Molten Core was down in a week, which blew my mind, or in like 3 weeks, I guess. But people were leveled and in in Molten Core and clearing it. So they've figured stuff out, like they've...
Right. There's a lot more resources for WoW and just like gaming in general nowadays.
Yeah.
A lot of people are more experienced players than say back then as well for this type of genre and content and all that, and so they really had a major advantage in this case. So
Yeah, it's interesting to see it come out because it's a different meta. What is it? Spell
cleave is what.
Spell cleave. There you go.
Everybody's just spamming that.
The dirty word.
And the more mages and AoE you have, the better it gets in their eyes.
Mike, yeah. Let's take insulin and wait. Probably have to wait till tomorrow. Was working on Zombie Gobo. Nice. Well, hopefully you can get back to it soon, man. Mikey B, so I'm guessing you're not painting Sister's Army red. No, I've got the black and red theme going on. Like black with red trim, but they're not all red. But the robes and stuff will be red. I'm going with the classic look. Flavin 80. Only reason why I was an orc rogue was for the 10% stun resistance ratio and the 25% stun resist from talents. I was a rogue destroyer. I bet you're really effective.
Do you need to pass you anything?
No, I'm good. Oh, he's done though. I can put him on the thing.
Yeah, you can.
Which one was it?
Just put them
no,
both.
he's not done. I forgot the black.
The Horde had some of the best racials. Like Stone Form with the dwarves is probably the best comparable. Also, Escape Artist with gnomes, but yeah, Taran, War Stomp, friggin' Will of the Forsaken. Of course, the stun resist. Yeah. Or Horde racials were very strong. Again, all PvP based. I know it didn't do them a lot of favors generally in the PvE world. But who cares about that?
Okay. Miranda, do you have a tinier brush?
Yeah.
Is this the same? This says raw iron. I don't think that's quite.
Raw iron's not black. It's an off black. Yeah, black.
There we go. Okay. All right.
It looked black to me from here. I apologize.
Mogwai disagrees with you, Mr. Dillon. He says the average player from 2004 was better than the average player today. Shots fired.
I see.
What do you have to say to that? Because you were probably a little young in 2004.
Maybe like all the people who by the time. Well, no, that's right when the game released.
Yeah, I know, but you were.
Yeah, I'd have to disagree. When was the last day of before Burning Crusade? Because I bet by that point people were pretty on point with the game. But and there've been like a few
2 years before they had an expansion.
There've been like a few MMOs before that, but I mean, this was like the big one that it came out. And there wasn't like not many people knew a whole lot, especially with the in-game content. You know, took a long time to get there.
Well, but they're also discovering it for the first time. I mean, people have guides now that they could jump into ahead of time, and they could have planned their entire leveling process before the re-release of Classic ever came out. So you get so much more preparation time. Whereas,
I think the first guys went into Molten Core.
Yes.
And then they're like, hey, do you guys think fire resistance might be a good idea?
Well, I think the answer to that was no, because there's no way they could have farmed enough fire resistance. They're like, just put it on the tank. But yeah, I kind of think that they were practicing on private servers and then were ready to go when WoW launched. Valorian, I had a big crystal 2-hammer sword on my paladin. The people that killed Rag apparently ran a private vanilla server for years, though mild advantage. Yeah. Oh, or
right,
confirming the point, yeah. The black and red looks better than the all red in my opinion. I've already seen my black and purple characters. True. Strong colors like that, it gets too gaudy real fast unless you break it up with a neutral color. In my personal opinion, I've noticed. Mikey, so I'm finally getting pumped to get back into 40k. It's been a hot minute since I played, probably earlier this year, but I'm getting back in with a new army starting this Saturday, the Drukhari. Ooh, nice choice. Flavin, yeah, Stoneform was my second choice for poison removal. People are better at games today than they were in 2004 when it comes to MMOs anyway. Sort of, the MMO landscape has changed a lot too. WoW was such a trendsetter in that, and it's funny because, well, I guess they're Activision now, but people have just totally lost sight of why that game had such an effect on people. But I don't know. I'm curious what they think as they watch so many people play the game now, and I'm really curious to see what its staying power will be. Because it's definitely different than playing retail right now. Larry and Mikey, that's great. Nate, wait a little bit before buying any incubi. New plastic ones and the new Drazar are coming soon. Listen to the man, he knows. In 2004, players founded all of those guilds. That's true. Asteroid, hello, welcome. There were also EverQuest players. Yeah, that was a bit of the downfall of WoW too, unfortunately.
Sad I was never a part of that.
The EverQuest?
Playing EverQuest.
Oh yeah?
It sounded like it was kind of a fun time.
Yeah, from a social element. I mean, there's a lot of stories that go way back when. I mean, Eve has some famous stories. I think EverQuest has some famous stories.
You still hear from Eve every once in a while. It'll just pop up and be like, oh, $500,000 was lost in a battle yesterday. Anyways, on to other news. Like, you're like, what in the world?
I feel like Aaron would know about these things.
DJ plays it.
Eve?
Oh, that's right.
Yes, he does.
Oh, it's too bad he's not here tonight. He
I
could
know.
shed some insight.
You could call him a nerd. And, oh, right. We could be positive too. Whatever. He's getting blue on him. So excited. Things are happening. Mikey Adalurian, getting basic truth. Good call, sir. Bill's Fish, welcome. Greetings all. Hope your day has been amazing. I hope your day has been too. It's getting better.
Like, be honest, you know.
EQ is hard. You had to group. Yeah, that was one of the things, because WoW was supposed to be like classic. I'm sorry, not classic. WoW was supposed to be casual, where you could level on your own, unless you play warrior. But druids were pretty famous for being loners in the game. Rogues do pretty well. Paladins did pretty well. Shamans did pretty well.
Yeah, it's surprising to me like how little damage rogues take simply based on their like evasion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, versus me, like my armor class is roughly the same as like the rogue is once I equip my mage armor, but you know, I go and fight a mob and it just pummels me into the ground, and then the rogue party member I usually party with, no problem.
Yep, that's usually it's kind of funny the way that ends up turning out, but
Aha!
now in PvP
Progress.
I can get raffle stumped because my warrior will mess up a rogue. Generally.
I got.
You got one? There's a finished mod. Is that finished?
Yes.
Are
By
you-
whose standards?
I mean, your own. You're the only one painting him.
Yes.
Okay. Well, congratulations. We got a finished model on the table, boys and girls.
I mean, it looks good.
Indeed.
And then I learned something while painting it that I'm now going to apply to this one.
Learning things is important.
Learning is fun.
Not always, no. Learning can be terrible.
Just like the terrible truths, or
So like you do something one way and you're like, that was a terrible way to do that. I learned not to do that.
I mean, it's still learning and it's still valuable.
But it wasn't fun. See?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All this WoW talk makes me want to watch someone else. All right, Jeremy. Ha ha ha. Mogwai, just for leveling, grouping was necessary in most cases. Yeah, on the EQ days, I never played EverQuest though. We're all nerds here, Miranda. WoW was my first MMO. Kind of sad I missed out on EverQuest and Ultima. Yeah, I guess Dylan was kind of feeling the same way, but WoW was a first for a lot of people. It was technically the second MMO I played, just because I started with Phantasy Star Online, but I never played Dark Age of Camelot or EverQuest or Ultima Online, which sounded
To be
like
fair, I haven't
nonsense.
played any of them.
Yeah. Honestly, your life might be a little more enriched for this as a result of that.
I don't know about that.
So much time goes into this stuff. And now it's like, well, let me just get into tabletop wargaming. This doesn't take any time at all. There's a habit, or there's a theme, recurring theme with the things I do, I've noticed. Long and difficult. Oh, some Menoth. Yeah, so Mikey, Dylan plays Menoth in War Machine, so Hopefully he'll get to play some more Machine at Valhalla, but that's what he's working on. WoW leveling is just spec-based. Somewhat.
I don't know why I
Found
opened
the-
the blue.
I found the Oreos you were hiding.
I wasn't hiding.
She was
Glad
hiding
you
them
found
from
them.
you.
I'm glad you found them. Enjoy your dessert that I've provided for you folks. Blonde Oreos. Slaved over the stove. Slaved. I tell ya.
I believe it.
You mean you cleaned the stove while staring at the box on the side?
It's nice to have a clean stove.
I thought so, but
Mm.
no.
Patrick says he has so much mint off to paint. Ooh, more dungeon tiles. Which will need painting as well. Yeah, so terrain can be kind of I think Johnny Kapow was asking about, like, the largest thing I've painted. It's still the conquest, but terrain definitely is up there too, because it can take some serious time. Mikey B, learning is super fun. If I could legitimately go to school for the rest of my life and not have to, work, I totally would. Well, sort of. I mean, there's knowledge, but I mean, it only goes so far without you applying it. I mean, at some point, would you want to not do something with what it is you're learning? Or, as part of the learning, be working on, researching something? Because that doesn't have to be through school. That's just something you can do. So, applied knowledge is probably the most valuable. Learning it for the sake of learning, it can be nice, but not terribly helpful. Alright, so that's metal, but that is blur. Nice and blur. And his boots are also blur.
Are they made for walking?
They seem a little uncomfortable for that. I'm not seeing any sort of orthopedic soles or anything on here. I feel like he probably has these boots that are made for standing. Not very interesting, I know.
Lame.
I know. That's how they make them. Samuel, I used to play on the realm. Valerian, patience is a virtue. The ability to take the time is a glowing review for anyone living in today's instant gratification world. Okay, so question for you, dear audience folks, because most of you are probably adults, and so you probably have a good sense of this. Whenever you watch, say, like 80s movies or just movies in general when you were younger, movies took their time telling a story, right? Like, you didn't have this crazy, hyper sped up moving from scene to scene to scene. I've noticed that when I've gone to see, especially, contemporary movies lately, it just feels kind of tiring that they just rush from scene to scene to scene. I don't know how many of you have seen or are watching, like, the Dark Crystal series on TV.
Oh, yeah.
But, and I found that to be the same with The Boys as a TV series on Amazon too. Because anytime there was some moment of dialogue or you're trying to learn about the world, the scenes are just clipping through at a crazy speed. You can't absorb the moment. You can't absorb the world. It just becomes really jarring.
Mm-hmm.
It's too fast. Especially with something like the Dark Crystal, where it's such an immersive world. Like, it's not like people should be uncomfortable by sitting in it a bit. And so conversely, I saw a screening last night of The Shining at the theater. They were doing an anniversary, I think it was an anniversary screening of it. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
I'm jealous.
It was really good. It was really good. Obviously. But, man, it was just so nice to just sit back and just watch this story unfold and take its time to do so. And not just be in a huge hurry. And it really built the insanity of the film, as it reaches the
Climax.
Mm-hmm. And you really feel for the characters by that point too, because you've really fallen in love with them. And that was the same thing that happened when I watched Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's a classic filmmaker anymore, actually, and he takes his time telling the story. And by the last third or so of the movie, you've watched Margot Robbie play Sharon Tate. She's just sort of in and out of scenes periodically, but it happens enough that you're just super attached to her by the end of the movie. And it's really well told. Whereas I don't know that you get attached to the characters in these stories being told at breakneck speeds because you don't really know who they are. That's my long diatribe. Let me read the comments.
How much of the Dark Crystal have you seen now?
5 episodes.
Okay. Yeah, that it took me about then to decide that. Yeah, I just didn't. I thought it was bad.
That was bad. Oh my gosh.
It's just bad.
Oh wow. See, I'm not there.
Okay.
I am genuinely curious to keep watching it. It's just time. It's like, well, I can do WoW, but there's work stuff that needs to get done. So.
Don't worry. It will strip that away from you short.
Wow. Okay then. I've been watching BTP for like 8 years. Otherwise, I'd have no clue what Valhalla is aside from a Viking afterlife. Yeah, that's right. Blue Table Painting. Sean started Valhalla years ago, 11, 12 years and years ago. And it used to be at Sundance, and in the final few years when they were running it, they had it at the Timber Moose Lodge where we picked it up. But yeah, Sean's always welcome to the event. He's come to previous events. He actually won't be here this year.
Oh no.
He got busy, a lot of personal life, good things going on, but takes your time away. There we go. Brian. John Hughes had it dialed in. Yeah, John Hughes movies were quite good. Mogwai Man. Yeah, storytelling has devolved. The ADD generation. That's what it feels like, but I still wonder if there's something more to it than that. Like, because of streaming, marketers have decided that if you hold on a scene too much, there's a 15% chance people will click away, and where you kind of shape the audience. Because, people still go see Tarantino movies, and I do think most people still have an attention span. It's just they almost need to know when to use it. Jeremy, that was one of my biggest problems with the Conan remake. Jeremy, there's a really interesting show on YouTube Premium. And it only had 1 season. I don't know if it'll come back for another one. I think it got canceled, but there's people trying to get it revived. It's called Wayne, and it's a modern Conan story, believe it or not.
What?
Yeah, no, it's actually really interesting.
That sounds bizarre.
It's just interesting. I ended up really liking it. It was just like nothing I'd seen on TV, and there was a certain rawness to it that I thought was, well, kind of relatable, actually. Well, Lorian, one thing I noticed is they try and merge multiple storylines into one. Movies and TV, there are more characters than you need. That definitely feels the case with the Dark Crystal series right now. I wonder how that will play out, but you're right. Yeah, because I can see that in The Boys too, the Amazon series. Mikey V, I somewhat disagree. Sure, storytelling has changed over the years. The 80s, 90s, etc. had their rapid-paced movies. I think pacing is also a very subjective thing. Pacing is a very subjective thing, but in order to tell a story, there's generally going to be a certain direction you go with it, and enough stories right now are being told at a very normalized pace of being very quick. I see a movie in the theater at least once a week, and I can tell you most of them are just not memorable at all. Most of them have the same type of writing style, very, very derivative stuff. So as far as pacing, it's how people had issues with M. Night Shyamalan's pacing on movies. I kind of didn't. The Sixth Sense was perfectly paced, and Unbreakable was was fine as far as the pacing goes, because it is a matter of what's being told and if you're picking up what the director's trying to give you. I just wonder if they're trying to tell you much of a story anymore, if they're just trying to give you moment beats to remember the little quippy remarks in the movie and then go on. That's what I mostly am concerned about. And what rapid-paced movies from the 80s are you referring to? Flavin, I'm so looking forward to the new Joker. It's my only hope for a good movie.
I hope it's not your only hope because, as much as I'm looking forward to it, that don't place all your hope in one movie.
It has potential. That's all I can really say on it. I think it absolutely has potential. We will see. Paul, I know you bought your ticket. We'll probably see it this weekend before we start Valhalla. And just... we'll see. It'd be cool. It would be a nice origin story. I'd love to see that. Like a focused one. Mikey, I think we're oversaturated with movies, TV, and entertainment. So we see so much more. Yes, but I mean, what's influencing that? Because, I mean, we definitely have more movies than ever. I mean, if you ever go to the supermarket and you see the bins of movies that are like $3 or $5 or whatever, half the movies in there I've never freaking seen. I was in Walgreens the other day, and they had a whole bin of like cheap movies. And the majority of them had named actors I knew, and I'm like, what the heck is this movie? What's this movie? What's this movie? Like, they're all straight to DVD or straight to Blu-ray. So I never would have seen it because I'm not following that market, but it is crazy. But it's kind of good in a way because it means that there's more people able to get films out there. It's not as, for lack of a better word, gatekeepered as Hollywood is. But wow, it is overwhelming. But I wonder how much of an influence video games have had on it. Because video games are very, like, they don't generally have a very slow pace. So you're saying you don't get attached to the Fast and Furious franchise characters? Oh, I love those characters anymore. After Fast and Furious 7 or whatever, when I realized they weren't taking it seriously, I was on board.
Oh, yeah, it had like a different name to it.
This one, the most recent one? Well, it was Fast and Furious Presents. And then it was The Rock and Jason Statham.
Right.
Whatever their names were. It was The Rock and Jason Statham being wonderful.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, whatever.
I remembered it.
David Doug, one of the slowest and longest films ever, is actually my number one movie ever, Stanley Kubrick's Barry Lyndon. I've never seen that one.
Me either.
But I do like Kubrick's filmmaking style. Because, again, it's interesting. It's fascinating to watch. And his style is somewhat informed by the 70s, just because, when we all saw The Shining yesterday, there was the several zoom-in moments, the fast zoom, which is very staple of the 80s, or the 70s, but I don't know, he had an interesting style. He was certainly a distinct director,
The YouTube music artist Pogo made a Shining song.
Oh, did he?
A song from The Shining.
Ooh.
It's called Red Rum. It's pretty good.
Well, okay, and so here's another example of that. So they were showing the movie of The Shining because they were advertising also for Dr. Sleep that's getting ready to come out. And when I look at that movie, it does not look like it takes place anywhere in the world of The Shining at all.
They're making Stephen King's Dr. Sleep?
They are.
Ooh.
And it has Ewan McGregor as...
That one's going to be interesting.
Ian McGregor is...
I remember
Danny.
reading that one, and that one is creepy. I mean,
I've not
Stephen
read
King
that.
stuff is, but that one's like kind of bizarre.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, Stephen King.
Yeah.
I'm curious. However, when I saw the previews for it, it was not impressing me. It looked like Harry Potter's Wizarding World.
Really?
Yes. Like,
Oh.
everybody had glowing eyes and special effects, and they all had these superpowers that was just, like, infecting the world around them, and you could tell constant CG was everywhere. They brought back the Red Run statement, and that was obviously done by this, highly paid, super skilled artist to make it just so, and it's just so polished. It's just boring. That's my concern, anyway. And I mean, I am kind of partially criticizing that, just because, again, it's like you're wanting to follow up Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, not just Stephen King's. You're following up from people who liked that movie, and you are going to completely ignore its style 100%, which does not seem like a direction I would go.
Shining was like really good and well done, but Jack Nicholson carried a lot. too in that because he has like.
Shelley Duvall carries a lot in that movie, though.
That's true.
She ends up being
there is some good actors.
Yeah, there really are. Shelley Duvall's character, though, in The Shining, whenever you're watching it, you know, you take your time going through it, and you're like, I don't know, she seems kind of dumb.
Did you know you're live on YouTube?
Oh my gosh, that's nice that it lets you know, finally.
It just showed up for me.
Thanks, YouTube. But you just fall in love with her by the end. She's just sweet, and she's really strong in her own, like, she's really resilient. Yeah, she just does a great job. And then Danny, like a little kid, he does such a good job, and you just feel so much for that poor little kid who's just scared out of his mind. Oh, it's so good. Lorraine, Stranger Things is a great example. I love that show, but they have to constantly split the attention between 3 or 4 sequences. You're right, and I guess that's just like a modern storytelling thing that I'm recognizing, but I'm not like a huge fan of. It's funny because not everybody quite recognizes it the same way. I'm sure you guys are familiar with how when you get a new TV, they have the smooth motion setting on there where it smooths out the frame rate. So normally you'd see a movie or whatever at 24 frames a second. Well, it'll normalize it and add these extra frames in there, which gives this weird fluid motion that I notice, and it bugs the hell out of me. But I have friends who cannot tell the difference.
They all look like soap. Like when you have your TV on the mode, everything looks like a soap opera.
Yeah, no, it looks cheap. I hate that look. Oh my gosh.
Like even the highest production thing, it just straight up looks like a soap opera. It's really weird.
My women, I'm hoping the Witcher series has good storytelling. Oh yeah, that's right. That is going to be a series. I don't know enough about the Witcher world.
PJ's looking forward to it.
The world is actually really cool. So, I mean, there's a lot that they can do with it.
40K is going to have a TV show. That's going to be coming out. Yeah. So, I mean, I hope that has a good story, too. I don't have a whole lot of faith in any of these. We'll just see. But we'll see. Mina, modern Conan, like Russell Crowe walking around beating the crap out of people. Sort of. So Wayne is a kid. I mean, he's sort of a kid who's been raised by these comics and is otherwise in a very negligent household. And he has strong values, which I think is one of the interesting things about the story, because he's very consistent to them. And he does not fit in with the world at all. And it's just, they're good clashing. Wayne, you killed my father. You killed my father. No. Bill's Fish. I have watched the first full season of The Dark Crystal. I had no problem with the timing of the story. I was glad the story didn't drag. Well, alright. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Dave Dog, Mogwai Man, we live in hope for The Witcher Netflix. Jeremy, I only get YouTube Prime to watch Cobra Kai, and it's awesome. Cobra Kai is fantastic. It is one of the best TV shows to come out in the last couple years. Oh yeah, Hollywood's very derivative. It's pretty awful. Well, it's just so insular now. Like, they don't have any new ideas coming in, and they don't let any ideas in. So. Jess, hi, new here. Hi, Jess. Welcome to the stream. We're painting miniatures. I just happen to be rambling on about movies and TV, so bear with me. But they're painting miniatures. We've got Tau figurines getting painted, and we've got Menoth from War Machine getting painted. Midnight models. Which ones are they?
Exemplar Errands.
Exemplar Errands. Eric Brown, sick of all the remakes. Seems imagination has left the writers. Yeah, largely I think you're right, Eric. I mean, I know it's probably not all writers, but they probably get shouted down, right?
Yeah, that would be my guess, is they don't have room for the imagination. Because, they're
making
making so much money on nostalgia, you know?
Yeah, maybe. They're not making that much money. Sony has gotten surprisingly close to bankrupting themselves with remakes.
They're making another Spider-Man.
Yes, he's back in the MCU.
Yeah, I remember hearing there's a lot of drama about that, I guess. But good, that's fine. Admittedly, for me, after Endgame, all the rest of it's like, I'll get around to it, it's fine. I feel like I really had that adventure already. Let's see, Dave, in the early 2000s, in late 1990s, I went to the movies twice a week. Now I can't even be bothered to sit in front of a TV to watch them. See, and I'll go to the movies. I don't generally watch TV. Like, that's harder to make time for. Oh, if you want a wonderful story with good pace, Unstoppable with Denzel Washington and Chris Pine, a wonderful film. I'll have to check that out. I have not seen that one. I heard that the Joker is a mix of Taxi Driver and the King of Comedy with a Joker skin. Maybe it works. Gattaca is a good sci-fi movie. Oh, sci-fi movies. That is a whole other conversation. Sci-fi movies are few and far between. Like, good ones are few and far between. I haven't seen Ad Astra yet, so I'm curious about that one, but so many of the sci-fi films tend to fall to pieces pretty quick. There's a whole conversation from yesterday, but let me get through the comments. Lorian thinks I need a good movie in my life right now. Underrated, really. Gattaca is classic. Alright. Alright. Whole lot of stuff about Gattaca. I'll just watch the movie, guys.
What? You haven't seen Gattaca?
No, I haven't.
What in the world?
I know. There's a lot of like old classic movies that I end up having not seen just because they don't end up on streaming or they don't end up in a convenient place to watch them, so I have to go out of my way to watch them, and then I don't.
You guys are gonna have to come over and we're gonna watch Gattaca.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you're not gonna just bring it here?
It's probably on the shelf downstairs. Wouldn't be my guess.
Wow.
I'd be surprised if you guys didn't own it, although you may not.
It's interesting that GW is licensing their IP a lot. 40K TV show, 40K Marvel Comics. Oh yeah, that's right. I did just hear about that. Yeah, I'm not at all interested in their team up with Marvel Comics. The Witcher world is just Eastern and Central Europe, medieval times, with occasional supernatural monsters and magic. Well, it worked for Game of Thrones. Mostly Polish. Oh my god, Miranda, I have to know what happens with Miguel in season 3. I know! It hurt my heart to watch that. Apparently the author of The Witcher wasn't a fan of video games. Ugh. So, I really liked the Sword of Truth series of books by Terry Goodkind, and it had a TV show for 2 seasons. And Terry Goodkind was a writer on it. Like, he was one of the screenwriters on the show, and it was terrible. It was just horrible. And I really wanted to like that show. And I stomached some garbage dialogue for it. And then to find out that the writer of the books was the writer on the show, too, was very confusing to me. But I think he just thought of it as like a whole separate thing. Like, oh, this is just TV. It's just for the unwashed masses, so they'll take whatever. Like, that was really the impression I got from the way that story was told. So I'm hoping that The Witcher doesn't have a similar approach taken, because it will create a terrible, horrible show with amazing costumes. It made me so sad, you know? Like, I was really looking forward to it.
Are we talking about the Dark Crystal?
No, I haven't finished that. Let's see here. A whole lot of talking about The Witcher in the world. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was absolutely awful. It was just forgettable. Like, I didn't hate it particularly, but there's just nothing interesting happening. Gattaca was in Blockbuster back in the day. Wow, no kidding. AOS Marvel Comics, so I'll read that. Maybe. The MCU has been wildly successful. Marvel Comics, yeah. Lorian, I don't think he cared about their games. He cared that they made more money than him. Tried to sue them for more earnings. Are you serious? Oh, that's
I'm
just
not surprised.
Oh my gosh. First world problems, right? Tedward. Hey Tedward, welcome. Disney is going to buy GW and then bright, happy, far future. Oh, well, Disney could afford to buy GW. They own, like, what, 25% of Earth? God. He only got around 40,000 euros for the rights. I think that's euro.
I mean, I could definitely use 40,000 euros, though.
I'm going to the Slanesh Disney theme park, if so. Yeah. That would be interesting. Jeremy, take that back. The Sword of Truth is great. Just shows was great shows, just different than the books. Oh, it was different, all right. You see, it was bad. The books were good. No, I'm not backing down on that one. That show was horribly told. Larian, were you giggling about the Witcher armor from the show? A certain wrinkly set of armor?
Scrotum armor.
Way to go there.
You're welcome.
Flavin, it would be really cool to record damage done to your models, then paint damage on them over time. But that means they'd never heal. Unless you're painting them healed over time, too. I feel like that might get... You might just get a dry erase marker at that point. Well, on the bright side, once you water this Thunderhawk blue down...
It's actually painting nicely.
It has excellent coverage.
Ooh.
I'm not used to paints that have such quality pigment. You see.
That is true. Like 3-coating everything
Yeah.
on here.
This is...
I don't miss those days.
Right.
I do not.
Well, you paint more than I do. It's fine. We just are a little different.
I'm not saying you have to change your ways. I'm just saying I don't miss it.
Have you seen the original Witcher show? It's hilarious.
It was original.
I didn't know there was an original. What was this based on? I feel like the whole Witcher series, all of it, is just like a whole element of the world I've missed out on. But
Yeah, I saw everybody like getting into the Witcher games, and so I was like, oh cool, I'll check it out, see if it's any good.
I hear the games are great. I've watched some of them played, but
I was like, oh, I'll just start off with the first one. The style of it is like completely different than the other two that have been released. Yeah, the two that have been released are like third-person action games, and the first one's almost like a isometric strategy game, sort of. So
that sounds
it's
like
way different.
Huh.
Yeah, and I think that one's really cool, but it was just kind of interesting seeing how they jump from one to the other. It's like Blizzard making Warcraft 3 and then making World of Warcraft, It's like way different style of game.
Interesting. Old Polish TV show. Yeah, no idea what you're talking about, man. The combat in The Witcher 3 is awful. So I technically own The Witcher 3, I've just never played it. It came with my graphics card years ago, but the way you had to download it was tedious and, well, I needed an editing machine, so I was editing. That show is like The Legend of the Seeker show. Only Witcher is name alone. Oh, I see. Ugh, that's terrible. That's right, it was. It was called The Legend of the Seeker. Those were the days. Yeah, and it's funny because I think we've hit an odd renaissance where TV is actually pulling ahead of movies in a lot of ways. Because again, you have Cobra Kai as this like interesting story. The Boys ended up being more interesting than I thought it would be. I hated the freaking pilot, just terribly, and then it ended up growing on me as I gave it another chance. But the fast-paced storytelling, we'll say, of most movies, in my view, has made them very forgettable. It seems like TV now is the one taking its time more so. Evidently, with some exceptions. Again, The Dark Crystal apparently is getting very mixed reviews among my friends.
Have you watched it yet, Flo?
no.
Oh. Did you ever watch the original movie?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Time for some skin color. What do we have for skin? Got very brown skin. I don't like that one.
I think I fell asleep watching the second episode.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
like, so boring.
Don't have that. So I guess we'll have to go with metal. What kind of metal bits can we put on there? Oh, well, that's interesting.
I decided to make this crossbow gold, and I don't know if that was just like too crazy of an idea yet.
Oh yeah?
It's looking like I may have gone overboard. But I'm not sure, because I haven't put the gold on, just the base coat.
Just add some black accents. It'll be fine.
All right.
Yeah, good call. I can do that.
So my dear Bullgryns here are running around in khaki pants. So which color khaki do we go with? Darker or lighter?
Start lighter because you washing will make it darker.
Wash. I could also dry brush up.
This guy has so much little detail.
Wait, do you have a film suggestion to get a taste of your style, Miranda? My 80s film viewing was Alien, Rambo, and Wayne's World. Those are really good films. Actually, when we get back from Valhalla, I think it's on the 15th of October, they have a screening, a 40th anniversary screening of Alien. So
I want to go.
yeah, let's do it. It's Tuesday. So we're going to go see that because Alien is fantastic. Gosh, there's so many. So, you know, those kind of appealed to me later on. Like, I loved Back to the Future, loved Ghostbusters. I loved Legend.
I still love Legend. I mean,
I loved Lady Hawk, which I found out about later. In fact, Lady Hawk and The Princess Bride I didn't even watch until I was an adult. So those weren't actually
Princess Bride was one of my childhood ones.
Yeah.
Labyrinth
came later. Labyrinth was okay. For whatever reason, it just didn't have like a very strong appeal to me.
I tell this story and like nobody gets it until they see the cover art. But for the longest time, I thought the movie Princess Bride was The Princess Uncle. And you won't get that until you see the box art for the...
Yeah.
Yeah, but the letters that they used, it looks like The Princess Uncle.
Wow.
That was just as a little kid.
It's cheesy too. Krull is fun. Krull is...
Oh, yeah.
Krull is quite good. I loved Jurassic Park growing up. The first Jurassic Park absolutely captured my imagination, which was a little bit fed into because my older brother is a legitimate paleontologist and has wanted to be one since he was 2. So, of course, I grew up knowing more than your average kid about dinosaurs. And so... And I read the
So,
books
like, when the kid was there, like...
Yeah, like...
You're like, I can relate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of my favorite movies as a kid was Black Beauty and The Last Unicorn. Those were great, well-told stories. But as far as like the 80s style stuff, I liked that sort of whimsical story. I loved Gremlins. I loved...
Gremlins.
I know, I'm so scared that they're going to remake that one. The action films kind of came to me later. Terminator was definitely a favorite. I'm trying to think of them now. Because a lot of them I didn't even watch until I was going back later and realizing all the movies I had missed. Like, I watched Demolition Man, like, a few months ago. I was like,
I don't think I've actually
this
seen
movie's
Demolition Man.
great. It's so good. It's so weird. But I kind of love it. Like, Fifth Element is, like, a highlight movie for me. It's a really strong one. And it's fascinating because it's not an amazing story at all, actually. But the characters are just so endearing that it's fun. It's a whimsical movie. Hawk the Slayer. I haven't seen them. Let's see. Legend and Lady Hawk are both super underrated in my book. They super are. James Lopez. Hello, man. They got the new movies coming out, like Bill and Ted 3, another Jurassic Park with the original actors from the very first movie, another Ghostbusters with Bill Murray. I know.
Another
Goonies. Oh my gosh. Of course. Goonies was a fantastic one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was really funny. They played it at the local zoo here one year, and it's like people had forgotten that show in today's day and age would probably be rated PG-13.
Yeah.
And so there's like all these like parents and their young kids and
Just
so
like
certain
clutching their
like,
pearls at Corey Feldman talking.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, what's he
At
saying?
one point, the bad guys like point a gun at the kids, and like you can see all the adults in the audience gasp. They're like, how could they? Child endangerment.
Yeah, no, the movies with kids in them in the 80s, like those kids were in legit danger. It was fascinating to watch that. Because of Cobra Kai, I finally watched Iron Eagle, and I love it. It's just
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's funny.
So, me and Johnny Lawrence relate on that. Tango and Cash. Never saw that one, actually. Demolition Man is hilarious. A bunch of one-liners from Wesley Snipes and Stallone. I know, right? It's super cheesy, most definitely, but it's a little bit of an interesting concept because it's such a surveillance society, and some of that you kind of see now, including how people handle things. Like when they're yelling at Wesley Snipes, they're trying to arrest him, and they're like politely asking him to stop being violent, and he has his handbook where they like go to the next line, they're like, ask again, a little louder. It's really funny. Patrick, Kitty loves The Last Unicorn. She showed that to me. It's a fantastic one. Oh, The Never-Ending Story, of course.
Yes.
Absolutely a good one. Legend has an everlasting impression on my love of fantasy and Tim Curry. Yeah, Tim Curry is also worthy of adoration.
He really is.
Spaceballs. I actually really liked that one. That might have been early 90s. We have good taste in film. Ghostbusters 2 and The Ghost in the Machine both scarred my childhood. See, and I'm very, very guarded about that. Like, if there's something I really love in a movie or film or book or whatever, and they're gonna, like, remake it, I don't look at it as, you know, that they're ruining the first. I usually just see it as some sort of disappointment, but at least we had that one good thing. You know, it's like, at least that still exists. Star Wars was a little bit messed up because Lucas actually made the original films completely unavailable without all of his extra CG garbage all over it. So that was really frustrating, but in general, if they have one good movie, I can be happy with that. The Lost Boys, a weird one, but good.
Lost Boys. But I'm a horror movie fan.
Yeah,
so.
you're more into the horror. It's an interesting movie. Kiefer Sutherland's such a creep in it. Let's see, Near Dark is a great 1980s vampire movie.
Yeah, I've never seen that one. Which is weird.
Although, you see, vampire movies?
You're dead.
So, like, Interview with a Vampire ended up being a really good movie.
Yeah.
I thought. And then, I mean, growing up in the 90s, I had freaking Xena, I had Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There was really, really good TV in the 90s, actually. I miss those days. Night of the Comet is an interesting sort of teens in post-apocalyptic world set in the 1980s. Oh my gosh! Speaking of post-apocalyptic, pseudo-apocalyptic, Red Dawn, which was shot in Las Vegas, New Mexico. Pretty good movie. I liked that one too. Name your top favorite movies. Take your time. Are you talking to everybody or top favorite movies? Top 5? Ugh. Because there's things that I love from a technical level, and there's things I love from just a fun level. Like The Fifth Element, I love as just an enjoyable movie to watch. But another movie like The Talented Mr. Ripley, I find as a master-crafted movie. Even if you don't really love the story, it's still an insanely well-constructed movie. Every single scene has purpose to
movie
it.
I
So
love
great.
that like does not get very much love?
Yeah.
13th Warrior.
13th Warrior. I don't know. Did I see that one? Probably too many movies for that. I mean, because you can throw out classics too. You can be like, well, Citizen Kane, because it's a really good movie. But it was like him starting in on the cinematography as part of the storytelling, or as a very integral part of the storytelling. And it's been done probably better since then, but he's kind of the first, and so he's a pioneer in that. So do they get props for being the best at that, or I don't know. It's a really hard question. There's a lot of movies I've enjoyed. It's just I've seen so many more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot more than I have, and I have a huge collection.
A huge collection. But we also see different things, so there's some overlap. Judge Dredd. Stallone as Judge Dredd. I actually really liked Carl Urban's Judge Dredd. It was amazing. Oh yeah, or Stallone cussing rampantly so he can make toilet paper. That's actually really good. It's so ridiculous. Law. I am the law. Is Xena let's see. Is the Xena you watched the one with Lucy Lawless, or did the U.S. have its own version? No,
Lucy
definitely
Lawless.
Lucy Lawless. She was my childhood idol. I love Lucy Lawless.
Like, of course, Lucy Lawless.
Yeah, I mean, she's Xena. She has the strength of 10 men. It's amazing. Like, I don't know. She's a very confident woman. Was horribly evil for a long time. Conquered, like, half of the world. I was like, well, I'll be good now. And I also don't feel that bad about things I did, because I'm good now, and that's you're just going to have to deal with that. And you're like, huh, you're a surprisingly well-adjusted character. Gabrielle and Xena make me swoon. Oh, gosh. And I have the whole box set, of course, for it. And you're watching it in 4x3 DVD quality, but it
does not matter.
They still like explore ideas. It's campy, and a lot of people didn't like that about it. I mean, it was obviously a wildly popular show despite that, but like they had really deep storylines. The Crow. Oh my gosh, that's right. The Crow is the one Crow movie is really, really, really good. You're right. I would love to see an actual decent sequel to that. That's why my Sly Stallone and Judge Dredd was so damn awesome. They can never make a remake. It's bad to tell you now that they did, and it has Carl Urban in it. Let's see, I'll go first. 1, Django Unchained, Children of Men, Mad Max Fury Road, Mars Attacks, and Thor Ragnarok. Huh. I agree with 2 of those.
Thor Ragnarok was really
Thor Ragnarok was an amazing movie. Whatever year that movie came out, it was the best movie of that year. It was just so on point for what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be painting. And and that was really good. And I mean, these are general. Well, I did not like Children of Men. Django Unchained was alright. Mad Max Fury Road was fantastic.
I've still never seen it.
What? Gosh, we need to fix that. Mars Attacks I liked as a kid, but that movie is ridiculous.
That's one of the reasons why I still have it and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's fun. I mostly remember like trying to show it to my dad as a kid, and we must have tried like 3 or 4 times, and every single time he fell asleep during that movie. It was like,
yeah,
it was
doesn't seem
obviously
like
not.
something your dad would watch.
It kind of is. He had his varying taste, we'll say. '13th Warrior is an awesome movie. You've got an ally. John Taylor agrees with you.
It's amazing.
So John, are you Paul's friend? Were you the one lurking in the channel last week? So thanks for coming back. Appreciate it. Jeremy, I think you just named my last 2 weeks of TV. I was so bored without internet, so I binged the 80s collection. 13th Warrior was filmed near the same town in BC that I grew up in. Everyone was extras in it. Oh, that's fun. That's awesome. Yeah, top 5 that you can watch more than once and enjoy, and those top 5 movies that you want to show others. And yeah, everyone in the group, CC5X, an answer. Yeah, I don't know.
I think Breakfast Club would be in my top 5.
Yeah,
And probably 13th Warrior also, just because I think it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
I actually did think this out at one point, but it's been a long time, and I've seen movies since then.
Yeah, it's hard to remember them all when, like, you hear the names come up. We had, Forgotten the Never-Ending Story or The Goonies, and we're like, oh, of course, obviously those, but you're trying to think of everything.
Taken over.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's your guys' progress?
I mean,
I am hanging out with my audience and painting somewhat.
There we go.
he's not looking great because, he's
Right.
just washed, but
Still looking pretty decent. You got a good contrast on there. That orange and black and white go really well. Flavin80, top 5 most impactful for me: Gremlins, The Matrix, Dumb and Dumber, Wayne's World, and Edward Scissorhands. Yeah. Those are some good movies. Admittedly, never cared for the Dumb and Dumber movies at all, but everything else on there I most certainly watched. Am I the only one that loved Princess Bride? No,
No.
of course not. Princess Bride was fantastic. Jason Momoa wanted to play Eric Draven in The Crow, but the funding didn't take off. So we had met James Barr at a Comic-Con several years ago. I bought some artwork from him, actually, because he wrote the Crow comics. Yeah. He is the creator of The Crow. And so he was talking about a movie that was supposed to get off the ground, and I guess that never went through either, and it was supposed to have a different headliner. I want to say it was supposed to be like... he was attached to it for a while. The guy from Dracula Untold. Luke,
I actually never saw that one.
Luke something. Can't remember the name now.
Did one of the models get nail polish paint?
No, I just put nail polish on 1 week and I was
Oh,
trying to be like girly.
gotcha.
It's all
Was that
scratched up.
during the painting stream? Like, this is painting.
That might have been.
DJ
It
had.
might have been.
Yeah.
DJ used nail polish.
I am indeed Paul's Kill Team friend.
For his
He
models?
acquired some Bullgryns. Yes, thank you for the recommendation.
He was trying something out. It did not go well.
Oh my goodness. Starship Troopers for me. Starship Troopers is brilliant. I actually still need to read the book because it definitely piqued my interest about it. Well done, Minnie. Space Wolves is complimenting too.
Thank you.
Yay!
Inconceivable! Since we're talking about movies, I didn't like the John Wick first movie.
I've
But
not seen
I guess
any
you
of
liked the other two? You haven't seen any of them?
them.
I've only seen the first one. And I was
They're different.
I was depressed after the first, little bit of it. I was like, the dog was so cute.
Yeah.
The
Well,
dog
you
was
know,
so
you need
cute.
an inciting incident, I guess.
But then I was just depressed for the whole rest of the movie.
I remember when the first John Wick came out, it was in direct competition with The Equalizer. And a bunch of people I knew were like, oh yeah, John Wick is so awesome, it's so great, because, he's just being violent for just, basically, not much of a reason. And, obviously if someone kills your dog, that's messed up, but, you don't necessarily go on a rampage over it. And so everybody liked that it was just an action film, and it was just really honest about that man. And I was like, they're okay, I guess. It's fine. I don't, it has a very strong aesthetic. I don't know that it has much else going on for it, like a bunch of random rules that everybody follows, I guess. But you're already killing people, so it's not like rules mean a whole lot to you, because laws obviously don't matter to you. So, I don't know. It didn't have that strong an appeal, whereas I liked The Equalizer a lot. But Denzel Washington did a fantastic job. And by contrast, people who were really all about the John Wick movies didn't seem to like The Equalizer. And I'm like, why? Is it because he has stronger morals? I don't know. Just me being
You being
combative about it. And all my close friends loved it, and they're going back, and they're going to kick me out of the group chat unless I change my mind. You've got to be kidding. If someone's going to kick you out of a group to talk about, unless it's specifically the John Wick fan club, because you don't like a movie, then they are...
Screw them.
Yeah, seriously, that's horrible.
They're not worth your time.
No, it's just they're
Come hang
bad
out with
friends.
us. We're better.
They're bad friends if they're doing that. Don't. It's a movie, guys. You don't hate people for their opinions. Let's see here. Allurian, Top Gun, excellent choice. Aliens, also amazing choice. The King's Speech, not seen that. Unstoppable, which I guess I have to see now. And Silver Linings Playbook, which I also have not seen. Well, I really like those first two. Top 5 movies: Conan the Barbarian, Predator, Terminator, Top Gun, and Red Dawn. Yeah, those are all quite good. Conan the Barbarian is an interesting movie. It got me totally into the history of learning about Robert E. Howard too.
Was that Jeremy's list?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just knew. Let's see. Airsoft and gaming. Nail polish did not go well at all. Oh, no it doesn't. You shouldn't paint your miniatures with nail polish. I believe you tried it. Didn't you?
DJ did.
DJ tried it.
Yeah, not me. I was like, I can't even paint my own nails with nail polish. I'm not gonna try that.
Let's give it a nano coat to something. Starship Troopers films are nothing like the book, though. Yeah, no, I understand that, but I'm curious all the same. Johnny Rico is a Filipino for starters. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure the books just have different characters in them. And I didn't want to watch the others because I didn't like the first. Fair enough. I mean, if you don't like it, I mean, the movie, why spend hours of your life if you're not interested in the story? So there's nothing wrong with that. Equalizer was amazing, and even the sequel is surprisingly watchable. Yep, I agree with that. John Wick would be better if the CG artist understood how guns work. The gunfights are bad. Denzel does a fantastic job in everything, though. He really does. I watched him in, it was a movie translation of a play called Fences. And he did a fantastic job. Like, him and the woman who played his wife, like, both of them are just so interesting to watch. But I could watch Denzel all day. The Equalizer was better than the TV show it came from. And see, I never saw the TV show. My dad saw the TV show, so that was an interesting conversation. Never-ending story. Express your feelings. Go. Was the Logan movie the same idea as what? As John Wick? I don't know which one you're referring it to. My friends are terrible. Got it. Only if they're gonna kick you out of a group and not talk to you and not be your friends over your opinion of a movie. If that is true, then yes, they're bad friends. If that's not true and they have offsetting mitigating factors, then obviously, use your own judgment. Denzel is a very special actor. His best performance, I still think, is in Glory, better than Philadelphia. Perhaps. Seeing Pierce Brosnan's head attached to the dog's body made when Mars attacks, awesome.
Wait, his head wasn't attached to the dog's
Later
body?
on, at the very end, I think. I want to say
Hers was attached to the dog's body.
What was he on? Because he was disabled in some way by the end.
Yes, he was. But I thought he was just hooked up to a bunch of wires.
Maybe that was it. Maybe he was just decapitated. Period. The Futurama head. Let's see here. I think Good Will Hunting was probably my favorite non-sci-fi or action movie. Good Will Hunting's it is quite good. For drama, Matt Damon's done some great movies, but Good Will Hunting tops them all. I would say it's probably his best in that for sure. Patrick Wilson, Nosferatu, Seventh Circle, Legend. Never mind, I love too many movies. See, and that's the hard part. When you start thinking and distilling down to movies you really enjoy, it's a really long list, actually, most likely. It's just anymore when you see new movies coming out, it's just going to be like a few here and there. Like Thor Ragnarok was an amazing movie. The Good Guys, I think is what it was called, with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. Like, that was a fantastic movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is probably one of my favorite movies of 2019. And for everything else I've seen this year, it's not really beating a whole lot of competition. I can't believe they're making a Batwoman TV series. What's next? Catman? Are you talking about Birds of Prey? Because that was a series in the 90s, and it was awful. I remember. I watched it. It was horrible. So there was this weird era in the 90s. Charmed was on. Oh gosh. I'm trying to remember them all. There was like a Charlie's Angels remake, kind of secret agent story with Natasha Henstridge in it. And it was this, it was a thin veneer of like, we're just trying to be boys, kind of, but really catty and annoying and petty still. No, I did not like Birds of Prey or Charmed. Well, I watched Charmed because there was like no fantasy stuff to watch at all, but I didn't actually enjoy it. Well, Batwoman's an actual DC character. Indeed. I didn't know there was a Batwoman before. Yeah, so it's comics. There's a lot of variation, for sure. But I don't trust what they're making in TV right now. I feel like you're a Kanye fan. Kanye? Like, the rapper? You think I'm a fan of that, Dylan?
How did they know? It's your biggest kept secret.
There you go. No, the Batwoman CW show. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I don't know about a movie. Probably, but I love how we railroaded Miranda's painting stream into a film club. So it's so universal, though. It's like, well, obviously we love our hobby, but, you know, we've all seen movies. We can all kind of talk about what we liked in them. And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's really, really easy to get Miranda off on a movie rant.
Well, yes.
Tommy would join too if he was here.
It's true. It's true. There's a lot. I mean, again, at least once or twice a week, seeing movies is what happens in this household. It's like the one frivolity I get. I mean, okay, so yes, obviously the plastic crack here is fine, but the other thing that we spend our money on is seeing movies. So I always welcome a happy movie, or I always welcome a movie conversation, because it always ends up, you know, kind of relating to philosophy and general storytelling and what really appeals to you and what kind of messages the film is trying to convey, as opposed to what was the artist trying to say, as opposed to the material. Stuff like that. Nope, Ruby Rose as Batwoman, part of the CW Arrowverse. Yeah, that looks bad. It just does not look good. Like Crow, Fifth Element, The Mask, Mallrats, anything Kevin Smith makes, really. Kevin Smith's kind of hit or miss for me. Like, I appreciate his approach, and I generally appreciate like what he does, but it's not necessarily always relatable to me as far as my interest in movies. The new Batwoman shoe is starring Ruby Rose.
Batwoman shoe.
I was waiting. I was like, is this a new merchandise thing? Sounds about right. I mean, the upcoming Harley movie includes the Birds of Prey. That's right. And I think that movie might be called Is it called Birds of Prey? I forgot about that. I think Instagram keeps trying to show me a preview of that movie.
I do not know.
I don't know.
I haven't really been keeping track of movies too much lately. That just makes me sad that I can't watch any of them because I'm too busy with other things.
Look, DJ is in the chat. DJ, how you doing, man? Here, you were too tired to come by today, but you know, that's fine. My feelings aren't hurt. So but Dylan's are, so you owe him an apology. Flo made me watch Evil Dead, and I forgot how ridiculous they are. The first one is crazy and kind of uncomfortable. Yeah.
Has he seen Ash vs. Evil?
He has.
Okay.
I have not seen all of it though.
Because that one's crazy and ridiculous. More so than the movie.
We watched the first one last night. We started watching the second one. We haven't finished it.
Okay.
Including those of you who've seen it, the worst scene I've ever seen in my entire life. There's nothing worse than it.
Poor Dylan. He just was so traumatized.
It's in season 2. If you've seen it, you'll know.
I haven't seen it yet. I want to.
Okay. You'll know.
So how
I'm sure I will.
Alright, I'm going to show you where I'm at with our 10 minutes of stream time left. This is how far I've gotten. And I'll continue reading everybody's comments. Chucky! So some base coating done.
So blue.
I can find the skin color here. It's blue, yes. I've got Thunderhawk blue, okay? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Special name. She had to buy it.
Chronic Toast, hey! I'm going to see you in a few days.
Yeah, well, this is antique gold.
Yeah. It's very bright gold on those minis.
Well, you know, it's meant up.
What about the first Warlock movie? See, I don't think I saw that one.
And I feel pressured to finish him in 10 minutes.
Yep, go, go, go. Come on, guys.
Bang.
I'm just going to be painting at Valhalla. So we have Creature Caster coming this year. Jason and Jen are fantastic studio painters, and so they'll be up there, teach a couple classes. So if you have some unpainted stuff you're bringing up, that's fine. Just sit down and paint with them, learn a thing or two. I'm sure I will.
I will, for sure.
Plastic crack is the best kind. The only kind for me. Painting miniatures and watching movies I've seen a million times is the hobby. So that
yes.
I can't actually do that.
I can.
Yeah, see, I'll just sit and watch the movie. And then Like if it's an audio thing, an audio book, or a podcast.
Oh, see, I can't do something like that because I have to pay attention to what they're saying.
Yeah, but I can't. Oh, really? I guess. I don't know. I guess.
I'm a very audio-focused person.
Yeah.
So, like, a movie I've seen a million times, you know, if I just hear little bits of it, like, I can picture it. It's fine.
Oh, interesting. I guess I'm more visual then. Because the movie's playing and I'll be like, oh my god, I love this scene. And then I just watch the whole movie. And
I mean, I can watch bits and pieces that I really like, but for the most part, I'll paint while I have movies on in the background.
fair
Have I
enough.
gone overboard? Is gold crossbow too much?
Black accents.
Are you going to non-oil it?
Huh?
Black
wash?
Yes.
Don't
Liquid
get it on the
talent.
white, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might
I
bring
haven't
it down a bit.
blackwashed
That
any
is
of these
a
guys yet.
that is a pimpin' crossbow. We will say that.
I mean, should it be silver? Probably, huh? Should be silver with gold accents.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's whatever you want it to be. Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, cheesy, campy, and completely awesome in every way. Have you seen Ash vs. Evil? It's just right along that alley. My favorite actor is Ed Norton. He's alright. He's really good in Fight Club. And he was actually really good in Death to Smoochie.
I love Death to Smoochie.
It's an interesting one.
I love Death to Smoochie.
Yeah. But I can't say I've seen it, like,
I
you
always
know,
have
the
to
Hulk.
have it done.
No, sorry. Yeah. So, if someone were to make a Kador movie, what story would you want to see? Ooh. Well, you could probably do an interesting Warcaster origin as long as it was an original Warcaster. I would mostly be interested in following like a sentient robot thing. Ooh, yeah, I'd make a remake of the Iron Giant and a Kadoran version of that. That's what I would do.
Iron Giant was a really good
Iron
movie.
Giant is probably actually one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, golly, it takes nothing. Like the second it comes on, I'm just like, my eyes are watering. Like, oh my gosh, he's so good. He's such a good robot. Oh,
I go.
I know. It's so good. I love that movie. Oh my gosh, it just makes me like swell up just to think about it. Into the Spider-Verse though, that was straight up. Do you see any?
That was so good.
It really was.
I love that
I think
movie.
it was robbed for an Oscar too. But
Netflix keeps on recommending it to me. I haven't watched it yet.
oh yeah, no,
You gotta watch it.
I do think you'd enjoy it. It's
Cool.
just a solid story. It's really well told and it's
Beautifully animated.
entertaining. It's funny. It's funny in appropriate ways.
It just seemed like weird. I guess maybe the previews, whatever, seemed weird to me. Yeah.
Yeah, people who cut previews just assume every movie's terrible, and so they give everything away or they mislead or they never necessarily like sell a movie. They just are selling moments.
It's too much gold.
But yeah, so Lipzig, you are completely right. Into the Spider-Verse is fantastic.
I
Totally
messed
agree.
up.
The film's weird insight into a person's psyche plus cinema popcorn. Apart from pacing, is there anything about modern film that bothers you? Well, the fact that they're all written the same way. I'm tired of hearing, you gotta believe me, you need help, and, let me see, yeah, you gotta believe me is like a huge, horrible one that I hate. And people not finishing conversations with each other is another horrible thing I hate in movies. Where, you know, you have the story where the entire conflict could have been avoided if someone had just clarified a point.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Which actually was a pretty solid movie.
Yeah.
I just love that, you know, it's like, that is exactly what it's about.
But I think they're kind of, it's a very self-aware movie, right? And they're pointing that out because it's stupid. So.
That's one of the things I love about movies like that.
Yeah, that was really good. Zombieland, great for painting the background in Book of Eli. Captain Joe.
I've
John,
already had that in the
Who's
background.
this guy?
Birds of Prey or the Glorious Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. That is Dragovich or something like that. He is a Man-O-War Democorps leader, attachment dude.
That guy's awesome.
He's okay.
He looks really cool.
Yeah, he does look really cool. He's a
Yeah.
beautiful model, don't get me wrong. Like, he's fantastic in that regard. He's just, you know,
Not
he's a
for the play.
berserker, he's a crazy guy,
Mm.
whatever.
You're like, I'm just not interested in his playstyle.
Yeah, been there. Okay, I get it. You're the crazy one. Okay. It's all tiring to me. So I'm sure if they focus on Margot Robbie or the Harley Quinn character in Birds of Prey, it's gotta be better than friggin' Suicide Squad. Drag Me to Hell was pretty good. It really was. It's an underrated movie. A lot of people do not
I've actually
appreciate
not
it.
seen it yet.
He's too
I
old.
know. Well, you guys watched it without me, so.
His crossbow.
I'm pretty sure I watched it
Yeah.
when I still lived in Oklahoma.
Well, I mean, like,
Oh, yeah, here, one Halloween or something.
yeah.
Oh, well, we can fix that. Black Fortress Retinue, maybe. Thunderhawk Blue is awesome. My Gene Stealer Cult Imperial Guardsmen have that color. Highlight with Lawthorn Blue and you're good to go. Oh, you think I own more GW paints? I appreciate that, Ruben, but it's probably gonna...
It's so cute.
It's probably just getting it.
Your faith
Black
in Miranda is misguided.
Oh, it's a dry paint. It's the undercoat after I blackwash it, and then it's the highlight again. Good to go.
You're
Blue,
seeing DJs.
I approve the blue. Thank you. I'm glad you approve of the blue.
I think most of these paints you've had since WoW Classic came out originally.
Probably.
Ah!
You're not denying it.
I'm really just trying to understand if that's true or not. I don't know where they would have been back then. Chronic Toast. Yep, can't watch and paint, only listen. One exception though, anything with Kevin Sorbo is so good to go. Currently on the second season again of Hercules. I really liked Kevin Sorbo in Hercules. I like he seems like a good dude. Morning mate. Let's see. It used to be the only way to get my dad to sleep was by turning on Prisoner of Azkaban or Pirates of the Caribbean. Ah, parents are funny. Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow. Definitely. Gorgeous movie. Now that's a movie I definitely couldn't just listen to because it's so visually stunning and yeah, it's great.
Hilarious.
I mean, I want to just make my house look like a house out of there for Halloween and, well, let's be frank, probably the rest of the year too. I can only do it with movies I've seen, but I like listening to movies while I draw. Painting, I usually listen to music, but not so much movies. Concentration is different. Yeah, I understand that. Start with the invasion of Lael, with Strakhov meeting with Iris outside the walls. I don't know how movie prepared Stormbreak is. Case end point. Greater than Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Just wouldn't happen today due to cell phones. Yeah, it was sort of a movie of its time. Lawthorn Blue, or equivalent. Thank you. Andromeda was another Kevin Sorbo show. I did not watch Andromeda. That did not look interesting at all. My dad's a fan, though. You realize they make regular Thunderhawk Blue as a layer paint, not just the dry. Well, this was all they had in the game store, okay? So...
Our game stores don't have as much as people might think.
And we have like 5 game stores. And this was from the proper GW store with their enormous selection that even includes Forge World paints. So, look, it's just what I got, okay? 9:29 timestamp. Are you caught up? Yes, I'm caught up in the comments. 9:30. Made it. There's blue on that guy. His base is painted. He's totally tabletop ready. That's not true. I'll get some skin tone on him and then he'll be good to go. Can't make GW paint to last forever. My P3 paints has lasted years though. Yeah, I've still never painted P3. It's corny as hell. Yeah. It's funny that you should mention the Hollow's house. I'm already there but moving soon to a more modern look. He looks pretty darn good, honestly. Well, thank you. What? They have Forge World paints yet? Yeah, DJ, we gotta go check it out. They've got a nice selection of both Forge World paints as well as all the GW stuff, and they've got, of course, the new contrast paints, which I've still never tried, because as far as I can tell, they're technical paints.
I haven't tried them yet. Don't look at me.
Mm.
I was like, $8 a jar. Well, it's gonna be a while before I get to that.
No, a Caterer movie starting with the original Laeli's War. It set the entire string of Wormhort's movies. Maybe? Maybe. I mean, if you think about it, Warcasters are kind of Avengers, like they're superheroes in that world, so you could make it work if done right. Good luck finding the person who could do that right. I could do it right, though, just so you know.
So if you want to pay her to do that.
I would make an amazing War Machine movie.
It would take like 20 years to come out, but...
Well, not if I had funding or help, but yeah, if it's like a 1 or 2 man crew, yeah, it turns out it takes a while if you want it done right. But War Machine
I
could
never
be
said
done
it
as a
was
movie.
because you didn't have a crew or anything. I was just saying, it's going to take a while because you're a perfectionist.
It's true. But it does look amazing when it's done. My show's gonna look amazing. But yeah, War Machine could have a legitimately awesome movie. I would probably still start with a new Warcaster origin, and then you have the characters that you already know as side characters. Following established characters are a little harder. It's why Space Marines don't seem to translate very well to the big screen if they're main characters. But I don't know. I could come up with something pretty awesome. See you in a few days. I know. Thank you. I'll see you. Oh, I'm so excited to see your bolt action boards up close. They look so good, Ruben. Getting in before you wrap up to say thanks for the stream and have an amazing Valhalla. Thank you, Ilarian. I plan to post some pictures, so I don't know if you follow the Instagram or the Facebook or the Twitter, but all 3 will have pictures periodically, so check it out. And I should still be able to stream next week. We'll have a painting thing again. We'll find a place to set up over there, and I want to have the guys from Creature Caster over, and so we can hang out and talk to them. So that's my plan. We'll see if I can't wrangle that together. Haven't been in so long, apparently. Well, apparently, GJ. Don't be afraid of contrast paints. I'll bring you a pot of it so you can paint right. Whatever, Jeremy. Just add some water. It's fine. Obviously, it covered. I finished all my tourney trolls with contrast paints. Huh, nice, Patrick. I had the whole list 100% painted. Hope y'all have a blasted Valhalla. I know it'll be amazing.
We always do.
I was thinking War Machine would make a great anthology in the vein of Love, Death, Robots. I haven't seen that yet.
I mean, they're only like 8 minutes a piece or something like that.
Is it really short?
They are really, really short.
Fair enough.
And really well done.
Alright, well, it's been 2 hours. I have 2 colors on my model that I painted. You've got some good details on your stuff there, Flo.
I put one of them up there.
And Dylan actually finished a couple models, so...
His were already started when we got here.
That's true.
He didn't start from scratch.
You know, you
Just
remember...
saying.
You remember what you see on the little rotating board.
Don't point fingers. All I know was I was more awesome today.
Yes. So, we're going to sign off here. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching. I hope you guys got some fun hobbying done as well and got to relax. And enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening and the rest of the week. And we should see you in a week from Valhalla. All right.
I'm excited.
Bye.
Say bye.
Goodbye, goodbye.